Hey, today's broadcast is sponsored by JC's Pie Pops. They're creamy, crunchy, incredible, and can be found in your grocer's freezer. Do you want to go? I want to go to the grocer right now. Do you mind if we leave? But to find them, go to piepops.com. Thank you, JC. Welcome. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Lisa Lillien, a.k.a. Hungry Girl. Do people find you? You're here.
I'm
people
here.
Find you in the grocery store and go, Hungry Girl! Like, that's your name now?
A lot of times when if people happen to recognize me, they say, Hungry Girl.
Are they surprised that you're not animated like your logo?
Well, sometimes they say, you look just like your animated logo, but usually they say, you're a lot shorter than I thought you'd be.
But your logo's only 2 inches.
That's true. That's what I should say. Thank you. I should be like, I'm a lot taller than that cartoon character.
Right.
Yes.
I have to say, so, I've known you for many years. We used to work in TV together.
We did.
Kim is fixing my mic for me.
You keep turning, so I want this to
Back in the
Okay.
day. Kim is so helpful.
Isn't she helpful?
Yes.
She's like
sidekick.
the mom of the... Oh, please. She's the Lucy to my Ethel. But... Yeah, sorry. But I remember when you were...
Lucy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But I remember when you were having the logo made. And now you're this mega brand.
Back in the day, I remember, I don't know if you remember this, when I was thinking about what the tagline was, you were in my office. I was like, tips and tricks for hungry chicks.
Yes.
You were coming up with
Yes.
it. You were in my office when I thought of it.
See that? So,
Yep.
So you're getting a cut of everything.
I don't know if you remember that.
You're in on the royalty.
I think I said 4. It was actually FOR. That was my line, so I should get a cut.
Yeah, I got it. I have a check.
But I have to, Kim, I have to tell you the stories. Before Hungry Girl happened, Lisa, there was a bakery in Glendale, or
It was
Crescenta. Montrose.
Yeah.
And they had Weight Watchers. They took baked goods and made low cal or low fat, or and they had points attached to them, like Weight Watchers points.
Right.
And Lisa was eating them, and she's like, "There's absolutely no way this is accurate." And so she found a food lab.
I did. I found a food lab. Your sister was with me when
My
I found.
sister was there.
That's crazy.
Oh, so she gets a cut too.
She did. I have a check for her too. It's in the car. Yeah, I did. I found a food lab and I bought these things. One was called a Twinkle. One was like a mousse brownie.
Mm-hmm.
And I drove about an hour and a half to this lab. I spent close to $700 to have all of these things tested. And I thought, I am a freak. As I was driving there, I'm thinking, I am a freak. But I knew that was one of the things that inspired me, because I thought if I would do this, who on earth would do this? Who has the time? Who cares enough?
Right.
But yet there's a lot of people that would want this information.
Well, most of us just absorb everything that's being told us, and we don't question it. So
Right.
the fact
Yes.
that you were like a food buster back in the day,
Right.
that's great. That's obviously what launched your whole, part of it.
Yeah, it definitely is what inspired me, because I don't take things at face value typically, and I do like to get to the bottom of things. I'm definitely, one day I will be an investigator, I think, a private investigator.
Ooh, I'd like to see
or a
that
homicide
little
detective.
animated logo.
Right? That would be fun. So before we get into, we've already gotten into food, but on our first segment, we like to do something called Broad Topics, and bring you in. So people often hear you talk about food and fitness and all that stuff, but we've got some stuff in the news. So Caitlyn Jenner, Kim, why don't you start this one?
Okay.
These microphones, these are new
I
mics
love
for
them.
us, so we're
They're
like...
so funky.
Yeah.
They're like toys.
Peter, is it good? Peter, check. Is this on?
Yeah.
So Caitlyn Jenner, we can't avoid the fact that Caitlyn was recognized at the ESPYs the other night and was given the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage. Just curious what the ladies in the room think of this. Lisa?
I thought she looked good. She did. You know what?
she
I will
looks
say
weird.
this. I'm going to say
I know,
this.
that's
She,
terrible.
whatever, love her, hate her, but I think most people do love her at this point. She was really well-spoken, so
Yes.
articulate,
Yes.
really brought tears to my eyes. And I'm not like one of these people that's like, oh my God, I have to follow everything. What kind of lip gloss is Caitlyn wearing?
Right,
I'm not
right.
I'm not one of those, and I have mixed feelings. In truth, I think that I admire the courage, and I think it's fantastic and amazing. But I feel like it shouldn't be the number one news story every single day, all day.
Right,
Enough
right,
is enough.
right.
And I'm sure her show will be very popular. But I like what
Yeah.
she had to say at the awards
See,
a lot.
it's funny. I watched the ESPYs, and I was not moved by her speech at all. I was hysterical watching the Lauryn Hill story and the Leah Strong story with the young girl that had cancer. I was couldn't even feel my face. I was crying so hard. Caitlyn got up, and I felt nothing. And I have no judgment about what she's done. I think it's fantastic. I think it does take a lot of courage and bravery to do what she did, but I really felt nothing. The only second that I had like a moment of emotion was when she talked about her kids. And then they panned to the kids, and they were stone-faced.
Yes.
No emotion. They actually looked pissed. And so I was like, something doesn't feel right for me. Although I appreciate the message that she was delivering, it didn't stir up anything in me. And I was disappointed in that because everybody was talking about how great it was, and I'm like, I got nothing.
Well, that was the only part of the show I saw because I watched a video of it.
Right.
So maybe I wouldn't have been moved if I saw the rest.
I watched the whole show, and I mean, I'm a sports freak, and so I loved watching all the other moments and watching the people, in their celebratory states. But I don't know, I was a little disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there are people every single day who are facing adversity, who are transgender. And so I'm torn like you. For someone to stand up who has the spotlight and the platform to speak for younger people, and I think that is really, really important. I was over Bruce Jenner when Caitlyn was Bruce Jenner. So and the attention and the Kardashians, which this is a Kardashian-free zone, like we don't discuss
what's happening right now.
But so we're already over just that family and their need for attention and this and that. So I'm torn because I think that what she's doing is really important because you have to have somebody like that who maybe will open eyes.
But she also said, and I don't want to criticize her because I know having a slightly public life that sometimes things get taken out of context and you get judged and criticized very quickly, but she said she's never met a transgender person ever before, like 1 week ago.
Right.
1 week ago. And then she was quoting statistics from people that she talked about that as if she knew them firsthand. And I want to tell you a story about this person. And I thought it just felt a little disingenuous to me. And
well,
I
it feels
know
weird that she's never met a transgender person because that would be the first thing I would do is do as much research as possible and talk to people about what they're facing and
and immerse yourself in that community. However, I also don't know that she needs to be the poster child. I mean, I think the country has made her the poster child now for transgender issues, and maybe that's not what she wants to do, and she doesn't have to. But
well, it is what she wants to do.
She wants to.
I mean, that whole family.
She has a
is all
show
about
coming,
marketing,
right? But that doesn't
like,
mean she's going to go advocate on behalf of transgender people.
No, I mean, that is definitely true. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I just feel like some people that are transgender don't, I mean, most people, I would say, all people, other than Caitlyn, they don't have the resources she has either. They're not going to be as perfect and beautiful and have the best wardrobe, and they're going to have to just deal with life as a regular person.
Well, and the other thing, too, she talked about, you can pick on me, but, the other people can't handle it. And I'm thinking, you got handed a show. You got handed a show, a television series, you have book deals and all the stuff that you've got going on. Other people that are dealing with their transgender issues don't have, like you said, those resources, those support, and don't get the jobs and probably don't get the accolades and the support. And I just feel like it's not an entirely a realistic comparison.
Have you ever had somebody speak up for you, or whether it's someone with a disability or even women in feminism, but they speak up and you're like, please don't be my spokesperson.
Yes.
Like, please don't be the
every
face
day of my life.
But you know what I mean? They try to represent and you're like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I'm good. I don't need,
That's what I said to you when they do these surveys with women in their 40s. I'm like, I never get asked. So that's not a reflection of what I think, but you're making a really good point that she's representing a group that I wonder if they're like, not such a
they're
good
like,
representation.
Yeah, please, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like when people at the Pride Parade sometimes, that some places in the country, that is their only view of somebody who's gay, where it's like, paint on their body and like the outrageous, because it's one of those days. That's like saying all Irish people are in South Boston on St. Patrick's Day. You know what I mean? It's just,
they're not?
It's,
I thought you were going to say Irish people are always drunk. But.
So some potatoes, right?
So something we talked about last week, so I don't want to, go all the way back into it, but Ariana Grande. So you just have a different perspective because your husband, Dan Schneider, creates like all those Nickelodeon shows.
He does.
He discovered her.
And he found her when she was in 13 and put her on Victorious, and her character was really popular, and then he created Sam and Cat. Mm-hmm. And Ariana's...
And she doesn't really have that voice.
No, she doesn't. I don't know. I always liked it. A lot of people were really irritated by it, I think, including her, probably, to some degree. But she's actually a great kid. Like, I really like her. She's never been anything but sweet, and we're friends with her. So I think she's being judged a little bit unfairly. I mean, we all say and do silly things in our lives.
Yeah,
and
it's not like she didn't stand up like the Dixie Chicks, and even that, It's funny that there's like one thing that you can't say in this country, and that's that you actually disagree with this country.
Well, and there's two things here. One, there's the donut licking. Two, there's the
Delicious.
America comment. First of all, we all go to the donut shop and wish we could lick the donuts on the counter.
I'm not the only one.
Let's be honest, we all want to do it.
Sometimes you just got to lick a donut.
There was an episode of Sam and Cat actually where she was like standing by the prop donuts and it says props do not eat, and she's like pretending to lick the donut, and it was funny. That was from a couple
Foreshadowing.
years ago. I know, and I'm not sure. Did she actually lick the donut? It was not that clear whether
I
or
think
not
so.
there
I
was
don't
a
know.
tongue touching.
But what was
donut.
your second point? So
The second point was like her America comment. She just was like, everybody says, "Oh, I hate this. Oh, I hate my mother. Oh, I hate this. I hate this." She doesn't hate America. Like, that's silly. Anyone who's like, they were like, she's going to be under investigation. They're going to go into her house and look inside of her desk
Like
drawers.
she's ISIS.
Right. Like, it's so silly. It's silly. It's silly, and I hate the fact that these days it's trial by social media, and the masses jump on anything you say. Like, I experience it every single day of my life. I have a Facebook page with over 1 million people, and no matter what you say, they jump all over it.
We're gonna talk about that because that's fascinating to me that you talk about food and people are crazy. But we have to take a break. 661-298-5487. Give us a call, and we'll be right back.
they never get old. I just gonna keep saying that every time we come back from break.
Welcome
just
back to
joining
Broadcast.
us. Yeah, we have Lisa Lillien in studio with us, Hungry Girl.
At Hungry Girl on Twitter.
Yes.
And-
Twitter. I'm not a
and-
big Twitter.
No?
Not
Twitter.
really. No, I'm not a big fan of Twitter.
No?
I think it's dumb.
Facebook, really?
I do. I hate it.
I think it's dumb. But Facebook, you kill it. It's crazy.
Well, for my brand, Facebook is definitely better, and Twitter is fine for certain things, but it's not like for me. And I feel like a lot of times people think they're tweeting to like millions, and like
we're on
only
Periscope
6
too.
people.
Hello,
Hi, Periscope. Hello, people in Periscope
Hey, so
land.
people can ask questions via Periscope too, and we'll answer them.
Yep.
So ask
if we like them.
Yeah,
Broad.
only if we like them.
yeah. Unless you're asking to see things that, usually there's always that one guy. Hey, show me your
Yeah, show us your foot. You, the guy that wants to see our feet. Sorry.
creepy.
So I have to say, your website, I went to it. I've always gone to it, but I find it so easy. And I don't feel intimidated by it. And it's nothing really to do about the animation. It's just, it feels very user-friendly to me. And I love to cook, and I love to do all the things that you put on your site. But I just feel like, oh, this is so fun. And it's just unassuming. And I don't know if that was your intention, but it's easy to just find my way in it. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, I thank you.
Well,
And
that's your
I
background
tried.
too, was the
Yeah.
whole digital experience.
Right, exactly, where we worked together back in the day. So yeah, I mean, I wanted it to be very approachable and the content just to be fun. And when I started out, there were no blogs, there were no bloggers, there was no regular.
It was
people.
1942.
It was yes, that's right. I think I rode the dinosaur to Warner Brothers. No, but like truly, there was nobody out there representing regular people. There was
Right.
no and when I started, everyone's like, "Wait a minute, you're not a nutritionist or a dietitian. Why will people care what you have to say?" Which is so funny because now the world, every so-called expert is just a regular person. But
Right.
when I was
Right.
doing it, there was not one other that I knew of. So
Right.
that was the whole idea, was to make it approachable and fun and easy and happy, yet have real information that people needed and could relate to.
And it just started by an email, right? An email blast to your friends about recipes.
Yeah,
or-
I mean, exactly. I started it as an email service. It wasn't just to my friends, but I wanted to launch it as an email service because I thought I knew enough about building websites that if you build a website, no one's going to go except your mother, your aunt, your cousin, or whoever. You say, please look at my website.
Or your friend Jackie.
Right, exactly. But I thought if I could send an email that was relevant, that had good information, that was fun to read, people would just forward it and share it with their friends.
Right.
And
And
that's
that's-
how it started.
And it built so quickly.
It did. That's it built really, really quickly. Like I had a few thousand subscribers, then 10,000, then 50,000, then 100,000. It was just word of mouth.
Were you prepared for how quickly and big and...
Yeah, I mean, well, luckily it was the same amount of work to send an email to 2 people as it was to send it to 200,000 people.
Right.
Except that, at some point when I had a few thousand, I was like, maybe I need someone else to proofread this other than me. God forbid there's something in there that's, wrong. But
Right.
when I built it, I was hoping it would be something. Like I created a logo, and I wanted the look and feel and the aesthetic to be something that felt like a brand, and from day one, and that was my goal.
Did you envision it to be what it is today, though, with being on Food Network and Cooking Channel and having the books and the videos? And everything that you
I
are?
don't know. I didn't know what to expect. I just said, I want to build something. I want to get as many people interested in it as possible and see what the opportunities would be. I did always want to do books. When I started early on, I remember I couldn't really get meetings with publishers, and people were like, why does anyone care what you have to say? Who are you?
Right.
And I was like,
Now those
shaking my
publishers
head.
are like
Yeah,
trying to get anybody. I mean, that's the thing is it's become this controversial. Like there's the food babe and there's this, that, and these people are not experts. But you never tried to present yourself as an expert. That's what I like. It's like I'm just hungry, you know. And so
and I tell the truth. Like it's like this is what I like. I think if I have anything, it's what I used to call universal taste buds. Like I think I know what people like. I can taste something and say, I think I like it, but only like 10% of the population would like this. Or wow, this is amazing. Everyone's going to love this.
Right.
But the truth about publishing is that now everyone's so lazy. First of all, the world is the most lazy place on earth. And publishers...
Don't say America, though. Cause
No, not America. It's the whole world. It's everyone. People in the entire universe, including Mars and the planet formerly known as Pluto. But, they want people who bring an audience. If you don't have an audience, you don't have a prayer. I have people come to me all the time saying, can I pick your brain? I want to write a book. Okay, well, you need to build a following to some degree.
Yeah.
Right.
Because no one's going to give it to you, and just putting out a book is not going to make it popular.
Right.
Yeah.
So the world is definitely
My
changing.
girlfriend has
go ahead.
I was going to say my girlfriend has a great book that she's got an agent she's trying to sell, and they said your following is not big enough. Got to go work on your Twitter. And so the fact that you don't like Twitter, but that's where publishers and people are looking to see who do you have listening to you before they'll invest.
Right.
At all, even if your
and
story's great.
You're right about that, and it's a little bit sad, but also
Because they're lazy. They don't want to do the work to promote
Well,
you.
yes, that's what I was just trying to apply. But the Twitter thing, it's not that I don't like Twitter. I just think Twitter is a little bit false. So when someone says, I have 20 million followers on Twitter, well, half the people are buying their followers.
right. Yes.
And half the people, when you have people following you, they don't really even see your tweets.
Right,
It's not
right,
the kind
right.
of, and it's hard to measure that stuff.
And everybody's on there to promote themselves. So they're following others so they'll follow them. It's not this like genuine connection as much as Facebook might be, you know?
Right. And I don't do that, by the way. Like, I bet I could have way more followers than I have if I followed everybody who followed me.
Right.
But I only follow people that I want to follow, but then I don't even read their
She follows
tweets.
us, and we've got like
I love you guys.
400 followers.
401.
I don't even know how to work the Twitter. I honestly, I can't figure out the retweet, the quote tweet. I can't. I'm kind of over it, but I
And
understand.
it serves its purpose. Like some people, you can get news on Twitter. You see what's trending on Twitter, and you want to know why. You click on it. I get my news now from social media. I really do.
Yeah.
I see what's trending. I get texts. By the time I see something on the news, or even by the time I get my breaking news from CNN texts, I've already heard about it.
Yeah,
on
CNN
Twitter.
is getting their breaking news from somebody on Twitter.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's how much
It's
the
so
industry has
true.
changed.
Exactly.
So.
And they'll report something based on somebody else's report, and those people didn't even vet it.
And it's
to
usually
begin with.
Perez Hilton that they're quoting.
Right. So a lot of people try to emulate, I mean, it's kind of like the Friends effect, I call it, like when Friends, the TV show was out,
Yes.
and suddenly
And then
every
everyone-
show was a sitcom with a bunch of friends,
Yes.
hanging out. None of them really worked because it wasn't the original. And so there are a lot of, people who kind of come out, and we've talked about this, but when I watched you do that, you left, our job to go and have this. I went and had to have a baby, and so I've just watched, and even myself, like, how do I kind of emulate her success? So what can I do? What's my thing? And you can't. When somebody has something, a brand, like you drove to a lab and spent $700. Like that is your passion. That's what you have to have when you go into a business, when you're an entrepreneur, so I think I see a lot of these people who try to do things because they're looking for the success and they're not totally in the,
Right. If you're, first of all, in any way, shape, or form, in any business, any job you have, if your end goal is to be rich and or famous and or the boss, you are never going to be any of those things.
All right, and this is our last episode of Broadscast.
No, but your goal should be...
We have to go to break.
Oh, well, goodbye for now.
Go to break forever. No, but we will be right back. Welcome back to Broadscast. We're here with Lisa Lillien, a.k.a. Hungry Girl. We are huge in that place that you've never been.
I'm going to go there.
Yeah, you should.
Right now.
You should
So
go
finish
there.
your thoughts. So how did you find that thing you have to have inside you?
I mean, for me, I love working. And I always say the same thing. If you want to start your own business, you have to love working. You have to love what you do. You can't be lazy. I feel like I said it before, but a lot of people these days are lazy and they don't know how they want to get there, but they want to be rich, famous, the boss, blah, 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 blah. But that's not what should drive you. What should drive you is your passion and something that you love. And not to sound cliche, but if you do what you love, you'll be better at it and you'll succeed at it. And that's like the number one thing I try to say to people that I know that are younger, like do internships and go out and play around in a field you think is interesting.
Experience.
And if you don't, you're going to end up in a job like that you probably don't like, but all of a sudden you're going to start making more and more money, and then it's going to be 5 years and 10 years.
It's going to
get
easy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you're just like, well, I could have done this,
stuck.
I should have done that. Or, like, I'm not big on vision boards. I don't understand
I
the
love a
vision
vision board.
All right, but
Me
here's
neither.
the
It doesn't
thing.
work
The
for me.
time you're
Yeah.
spending flipping through magazines and cutting out pictures of things that you want to happen is time you should be making those things actually happen and not using your glue stick and your glitter pen. I'm sorry. Like, not to
I'm the
sound
same
like
way. I have so
it's
many friends that have
irritating
their
to
vision
me.
board in their bathroom. I'm like, I
But
just,
can I tell you the truth?
What?
My husband and I put up vision boards in our room, and they're still empty. Like they've been up for like 2 years.
Well, you have everything
They're just
you
those,
want.
like fabric. Maybe that's why things are so slow.
But I think part of what you're saying, we all buy into sometimes, these concepts, like, a fad or something that makes us feel like we're doing something important. But half the time, we're not actually doing
You're not actually
what's
doing
important.
it.
Right,
Right. You just have to take action. I'm like a big action person. That's why I like results. I'm very results oriented. I don't like hearing things like, I'm really trying. Well, I don't know what that means.
Right.
Like, what does that mean exactly? Like, what have you
Right.
done to try to achieve your goals? But again, your goals should be to actually want to do something specific and not just to be like, I want a company like you have.
Right.
Or like, I want to do what you do only for cars and I can't write and I'm not creative and I'm not.
And I need to be done working by 3
Yes,
p.m.
yes, exactly. Because I need to, pick my kid up from soccer.
Yeah.
or
And
whatever.
how much did your husband support you and involve himself in what you were doing? Or did he just say, you know what, girl, go for it?
He really inspired
Does he
me
call you
because
girl?
he calls me girlfriend.
Girlfriend? Yeah, with the snap.
I'm picturing Dan.
Truly, no, Dan is the best, and I thank goodness for him because like he inspired me because he's like really the captain of his ship and he has the coolest, most creative job and he's a genius and I couldn't love him more and respect him more. And I would come home from work and be jealous of like his world.
Yeah.
And I had a good job. I was a VP at Warner Brothers, but I would complain. And literally he just would say to me, listen, quit your job if you don't like it. I don't care. I don't care. Do whatever you want. But I don't want to hear you complain when you come home from work.
Right.
And I was like, all right, well, that's fair. Then I need to do something that I really love. So that's what really inspired me to figure out what it was that I wanted to do. Because I do love to work. I was never going to be that person that's like having lunch with my friends at the mall. I like the mall sometimes. But
Not to have lunch there.
yeah, but hot dog on a stick.
But I love that entrepreneurial life because, even just doing the show, like we're sending emails at, 6 in the morning or whatever time and, just making it happen. It's not like there are work hours. If you love it, and I love this,
Yeah, but the reality too, though, I mean, we've talked about this a lot. We took a break because we it wasn't putting, money in our pockets for a long time, and it still isn't. But I think that when you're juggling, when you're juggling a family, and I'm a single parent, so there isn't anybody helping me to make sure that my mortgage payment is paid. So sometimes the things that I love get put on the back burner because the reality is they're not paying my bills, and
That is totally true.
And that's hard to balance that.
But like
the
Tony
inner-
Robbins, you ever hear Tony Robbins talks about it? And he's like, you work these hours, and then for a couple of years you're not going to get sleep. Like if you love it that much,
right? That's
you just
the
have
important
to put
thing.
that in.
It's true, and you are so right. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was not the person that was going to take a fantastic job and push it aside and take that risk.
Yeah.
I was really fortunate in that I had a husband that has a really good job, and he was very supportive and said, if you don't make money for a while, it's fine.
Yeah.
And so I cannot say, well, I would have done it anyway. I would have lived on, boxed mac and cheese only. I
Right.
just wouldn't. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So I think every person has a different situation and obviously
I
different
love that
scenario.
you're honest about that. Because there are a lot of people who would be, it didn't matter to me. It was my passion, and
No,
Well, but
that's
I
not
think
me.
the
There are
people,
people that are that way.
But though people
Yeah.
say to me, whenever I say, well, it's hard for me at the end of the day to find the creativity and the energy to, after I put the kid to bed, to then go back and do the things I love. And they say, well, those are excuses. I'm like, no, it's reality. And if I want to go be great at something I love, I don't want to do it at midnight because I'm not at my full potential. And it's hard to balance all those things. And
It
so
is. And by the way, I don't have children. So I don't know what it's like. I'd be lying to you if I told you, it's easy to take care of a child or children all day and then go and do this stuff. So I made a choice to not have kids.
Yeah,
I'd rather be at half potential at midnight than not do it at all, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to me,
And that works for you.
there has to be. I'm just, working for other people, and it does pay the bills and all that, but there's something I know that I can do for what I do for others for myself. And it may not be tomorrow that, I'm at a place of success, but I know it will happen if I don't
Yeah.
give up.
Yeah, and if you love what you're doing, it's your hobby too. So
Yeah.
like, what are other people doing? Some people might be reading a book. Some people might be knitting. Some people might be buying things on Amazon Prime or whatever it is that makes you happy. But like, if you really love what you do, you don't feel like you're working.
Well,
Right,
I also
right.
think you have to surround yourself with people that have that same mentality too, because it's really easy to find yourself stuck in a rut when you're around everybody else that's making similar excuses or finding themselves at the same place. I have a girlfriend of mine, she says, well, I just go to work every day, it's just my job. And she just sounds so ho-hum about it, and she's just miserable. And there's nothing in her that wants to change because it's easy and, it pays the bills. But I'm thinking, don't you want to be happy when you're
Right,
there? There's
yeah.
nothing about it that,
Some
like, there's
people
no...
but that's
But
what they're
that's
doing.
sad.
Intense.
Those are
They-
live for Friday people.
Yeah.
But those are live for noon lunch
But
people.
that
That's
may
live for
be-
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Live for
but
Friday.
it's just
Live
like
for
living
Christmas.
in your hometown, though. Like, some people want to go out and discover the world. Some people want to have that safety. They want to have. And I think it's not necessarily our place to judge what makes other people happy, if she is, or
Yeah.
Yeah, but
maybe
it
you
doesn't
can't
sound like
imagine
she's
that
happy.
existence. But
Yeah, I'm not judging, but go ahead, Lisa.
I guess what I was going to say is I feel like those are two different things. It's one thing to want to feel safe and live in your hometown, and I kind of like that, actually, because I wish LA was more of a hometown
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
place. I was saying where we are right now feels like Mayberry a little bit, and I
Right.
love it. But as far as your job, like, I think it's sad for anyone to have a job where they get in at 9 and they're like, thank God it's lunchtime. Oh, it's Thursday. Thank
Yeah.
God it's Friday.
Yeah.
Like, anyone that just really is waiting for the next thing you're just wishing your life away.
Yeah.
You should have something that makes you feel good and productive and satisfied for the time you're there.
right.
Yeah.
And if you did have children, you'd be like us and say TGIM. Thank God it's not. Okay, never mind.
No, if I had kids, I wouldn't do what I do because I'm like an all or nothing person. Like, I think it
Yeah.
would be really hard. I wouldn't go on book tours. I wouldn't
Right,
travel a lot.
right.
I mean, I hate leaving my animals.
Lolly,
I know,
your
like,
little
I
dog.
I have a dog and
But I
a
think-
cat.
but I
the most famous dog ever.
I don't know about that. Lassie
I
might
think
have
that
a
you
bone
put
to
those-
pick with you, no
I
pun
think you
intended.
put those things in perspective, though. I mean, as much as I complain about being a single mom, I am able to do things that I love, and I have a book coming out in September, and I got to plan for that, and I'm thinking, how in the heck am I going to organize my life, because I don't want this one thing that I love to suffer. And so it's just priority, and it's shifting, and it's balance, and sometimes that's exhausting.
It is.
But,
It is. It's easy if, like, I'm a type A personality, so, like, my day is all mapped out in my brain.
Oh my God.
Like, every second of the day.
Wow.
If you're like, where are you going to be at 4:02? I could tell you.
If I show up somewhere, I'm like, yay, I succeeded.
Well,
Yeah.
right now, where you're going to be is a break. So we'll be right back. You're listening to Broadscast with Hungry Girl.
I am
Welcome back. I again want to mention our lovely sponsor for today's episode, JC's Pie Pops. You've had one of these Pie Pops.
I have. I mean, I'm probably not supposed to talk about it because I'm hungry girl and all, but, I live by the 80-20 rule, and they're like to die for, amazing.
They're creamy, they're
fantastic.
crunchy, they're incredible, and they can
It's
be
all true.
found
It
in
says
your-
those things on the box, but they really live up to it.
and you can be they can be found in your grocer's freezer.
The caramel apple
Do you
is
have
my
a
favorite,
grocer?
by the way.
I just-
Do I have
think
my
it's
like
so
a personal
cute.
grocer?
Yeah, I just
like
think
in my
it's-
house?
I just think it's so cute. Like, your grocer's freezer is like, like this little guy. Oh, well, who
It
was
would
the
be
guy
Gelson's.
on? What was
Mr.
is it-
Whipple?
Yeah, no, but no, on Sesame. Is it Sesame
Toilet
Street?
paper guy. Oh, yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Hooper.
Hooper.
Whipple,
Yeah,
Mr.
Mr. Hooper.
I'm
Yeah.
good at this pop culture trivia.
Yeah.
To find them, go to piepops.com. So, do you know, I used to take kickboxing from Mr.
Whipple?
Whipple's son.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, Stuart.
I met Mr. Whipple when I worked at TV Land.
Oh, yeah?
I had him sign rolls of Charmin that I
That's
kept in a
hilarious.
display case in my house. And then one day we were moving furniture and I had to take it out, and the housekeeper ripped it open and put the toilet paper in the bathroom
no.
after like 20 years.
You have to see her house. It's like
really
all
funny.
this old TV stuff. It's like I always joked with you that she likes to collect things from 80s television, including her husband.
He's just a collectible.
Because he was Dennis on
Head of the Class.
Head of the Class.
He was.
Yes,
Right.
but
He's
it's
a
just,
collectible.
I'm like, you really take it to heart, like the collecting.
So you just hit on a point about being Hungry Girl and not being able to talk, like kidding, I know about the pie pops, but do you find that people hold you to a different standard?
I mean, I find that people,
you can't be heavy ever.
things happen. Like, I try to keep my weight. I go up and down 5 pounds. But, like, if I go out to lunch with people, they'll wait and see what I order. And they'll be like, I'm just going to have what she had. Or don't judge me. I'm going to eat a piece of bread. Or I'm going to have some butter. And, I'm just like, I'm a person. And I definitely, there's nothing that I don't eat. It's just, I try to watch what I eat when I can. And if I'm out somewhere and I want a few bites of dessert, I'm not going to eat everything all at once. I'm not eating the bread and the potatoes and the dessert. I live by the 80-20 rule. But, yeah, people do tend to want to stare at my plate,
It's
which
a
can
very
be
healthy
annoying.
attitude, though, that, the 80-20 thing, because we should look at life like I want to, 80% of the time, I want to eat.
Everything,
But you look
not
at me
just
and you
food.
think I'm dieting when I do that. You said that to me 2 weeks ago. What? Oh, the blank stare.
Uh-oh. Is this the Jackie, like, I'm on a diet, off the diet mentality?
we've talked, because we talk about this, like, because I'm thin.
she's naturally thin.
And so people always think that I'm dieting or that it's purposeful the way that I eat, but I kind of am
That's
like
just-
you. Like, I just my natural weight, and I eat what feels good, and I don't gorge myself on one thing.
Yeah, but
If
I think that's the difference. You do it with a mindset of being careful.
Well, because I know me. Like, I'm not naturally thin. My body
Right.
wants to probably be 40 pounds heavier, and I want to eat everything else that I can, and I want to eat like a 12-year-old boy and eat Twinkies and pizza and ice cream and french fries, and I can't. Like, you have to just be very mindful of what you eat.
Right.
And I tell people that all the time, and it's like unfortunately, a lot of people have the mentality, I'm on a diet or I'm off a diet. And when they're on a diet, they eat nothing
Right.
that's bad at all or
Right.
whatever that somebody would consider wrong. And when they're off the diet, they're eating everything. It's like we were all in high school ordering french fries and a Diet Coke and being made fun of. Like, why are
Right.
you eating the Diet Coke with the french fries?
Because
Save where
it
you
tastes
can.
better, first
Right.
of all.
Well, I agree with that. But you save where you can. It's like it's a
Right.
give and take. It's
Right.
like it's like think about it as your money, like your bank account. Why are you buying this? Why are you buying the the $15 Target pants and the fancy bag? Because you can't buy everything.
Right.
It's the same with food.
Right.
But it's also what you just said, though, about proportions and being healthy and making healthy choices. And I think that's where, like, I hate the term dieting because I think it is very restrictive and limiting, and I think it causes people to behave in a way that doesn't feel healthy and natural and normal. And I think that's partly why, for me, why I love your site, because it really does just normalize everything, and it teaches you about proportion, and it teaches you how to love all the things that you want in a way that's still healthy and doesn't.
It's more of a lifestyle, like
Yeah.
a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
But it's a fun way. It's not, like some of the others where this is bad and don't ever do, like, people get on their soapbox. Like, there's no soapbox with Hungry Girl. That's what I love.
That's true. And here's another problem with the way people tend to think, because it's because of their laziness. But they want to grab onto one thing. So if they think gluten's the enemy, well, if they're gluten-free, they're going to be a twig. That's not the case.
You're right.
I'm only eating organic. I'm going to be skinny. That's not the case. I only shop at Whole Foods. I'm healthy and I'm thin. No,
And broke.
you're not. Yeah, that's true. Healthy, thin, and broke. But it's just not that. You have to think about, there's just more to the story.
Right.
And,
Always.
Always. And that's
It's a
why.
marketing tool. People are finding tools, and back when you started, I mean, there was like the Zone and Atkins
Well,
or,
it was low carb back then. Like,
Yeah.
everything was like carbs at the end.
But I will say, I know for me, when I, like yesterday at the show I'm working on, other than this, they had, lunch out between shows, and it was very, very carb heavy. At least my choices were very, very. And the rest of the day, I was like, boom, 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 boom. Like, I could feel my puffy. It was like,
Yeah.
Well, then, I mean, you bring up a good point. And the number one thing I tell people is that there's not one answer for everybody. So you have to pay attention to what makes you feel however you feel. For me, if I eat like starchy carbs, I want to eat them all day and I can't stop eating. I'm hungrier. If you know that, then avoid
then
them.
you
Yeah.
can be hungrier, girl.
Hungrier girl. I like it. It has a nice ring to it.
I mean, given the fact that you don't have a soapbox and you're not like preaching, like, why is it that the haters still come out?
Well, the haters come out because they just want, especially on social media, they just want to contradict whatever is being said. because they just want to be different. They want to be heard. They want someone to pay attention to them. I can't figure it out.
They're so mean.
They are, unnecessarily so.
Yeah.
I know,
Do
but
you
I fight
take it
back
to heart?
sometimes.
Do you take
I
it-
do, but I've learned how to take it with a grain of salt. But it's annoying, sure.
Yeah,
I'm
but you
human.
did do a post. You said, why do people feel the need to be negative, judgmental, and flat out mean in social media? If you don't like someone's shirt you see walking down the street, do you walk up to them and scream, hey, your shirt is hideous? No, do that and you'll be considered a jerk and likely have few friends. Practice the same courtesy here, please. If you don't like a post or the page, please leave. And do not return. It's that simple.
Yes, I kick
I
people
love
off the
it.
page all the time.
Yeah.
Get out. And it's funny, Dan is the one that
Get off
told
my
me,
lawn.
Get off my property. I mean, Dan is the one that said block people from your page if they're not behaving. And I was like, why would I do that? Everyone deserves a voice. And he's like, Lisa, if someone came into our house and sat in our living room and spilled red wine all over our white
Are you
couch,
talking about the last time I was there?
or like started hitting your dog or telling you were hideous, would you let them stay? And I'm like, no. Okay, I'm blocking them all. And that's what happened. It's like you wouldn't want them in your house.
And Kim
I
gets a
don't.
lot of
I
haters.
get horrible
We have
emails.
we got to go to break,
Yeah.
but we got to hear about that.
I want to hear about your
when we come
haters.
back. Lisa
I don't wanna
Lillien,
punch
Hungry
them.
Girl. We'll be right back on Broadcast. Welcome back to Broadcast with Lisa Lillien,
We're still here.
Hungry Girl. So Kim,
Lisa,
you were talking about
what?
all the lovely people.
Oh,
You have one guy on your page who likes to tell you every day like something that he knows
Horrible.
about.
Yeah, I have a public image page, and because I have a public story to my life, people feel the need to always tell me why I'm doing what I'm doing wrong, or how I should think differently, or try to convince me of things that have been in my brain for 20 years one way. So I have a gentleman that constantly, every couple days, he'll send me an email saying, you should think of this as the alternative to what you currently think. Did you ever think you should talk to the DA or to the LAPD or to the media or to this? And then he sends me lists of people I should call to talk about evidence that he has uncovered or whatever it is. But they're relentless. And people are horrible to me on my page. And I let it sit there. There are a couple people that I've blocked because it got to the point where it was keeping me up at night because I was feeling like these people are going to come find me. But for the most part, I let people kind of duke it out. And I fortunately have other people on the page that fight my battles for me so that I don't have
Yeah, I
to.
mean,
But
it's good that you have
and you
people.
get that
People are
too,
nasty.
right?
I get that
Nasty.
too,
Other
but
people
they're
are like,
nasty.
Don't talk about my Hungry Girl.
Right,
Yeah.
but also if someone is like just making a point and they want to have a healthy debate,
Yeah.
that's totally fine. But
Right.
if they're just being mean or nasty or hurtful or spreading lies,
yeah.
I say get rid of them.
And I guess it's hit or miss. And sometimes I engage. And we were talking about this. You said, why do you engage? I said, sometimes I can't help it.
Right.
Sometimes I'm in a mood, and why should I not engage? Because
I
if someone
know.
walked up to me and said something,
Right.
I would engage.
I do that too.
You do?
I do. Or
Yeah.
sometimes I'll like, yeah, I do.
But I think
do.
you know,
And then you're the angry girl.
and you're
Exactly. But I try to be
Angry
nice. I
girl.
try to, like, even if I'm engaging and I'm making a point, I can do it with humor or make
Yeah.
a point
Yes.
without being. I try not to, like, stoop to their level. I try to do something to kind of, like, make them feel bad or point out what they're
Yeah.
saying. Like,
you do a great job at that.
like someone the other day, this is a great example. Someone was like, I just got this book. I'm so excited. It's the Hungry Girl Diet. I'm going to try to lose weight. Da, 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 da. This is so great. And this person right under it, her friend on Facebook, said, I hate that woman so much. Her stuff is all fake and horrible and blah, 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 blah. So I was like, actually, that book is pretty clean. Almost everything's all natural. And you really should be a little more supportive of your friend who's trying to get healthier. She deleted her post.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but she should have. She should stay in bed the rest of the night and cry, as far as I'm concerned. Because it's embarrassing.
I've had people say things to me like really nasty, and then I'll say, thank you for your consideration, or thank you for your concern, and,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
I get everyone else going, great sarcasm, because I'm thinking, part of me just wants to say, I saw what you did, and you didn't get me, but F off,
Right.
like part of me, but you can't. I mean, I love the fact that people are just hiding behind those avatars that are just an egg or
Oh, yeah.
whatever,
An egg.
and they're spouting off
Well,
their
maybe they are an egg.
nastiness.
But you mentioned your book.
Egghead.
Don't be
you know,
upset about
we
the
would
egg
be
people.
remiss. We would be
Remiss.
remiss. We would be messed up if we didn't talk about your 10th. Is this your 10th book or your
Wait, is it it's the 10th book? Yes,
10th
I have 10
book.
books that are out.
the Hungry
currently.
Girl Diet Cookbook?
Yes.
Recipes.
Recipes.
Awesome.
And survival strategies. No, it's tips and tricks and everything. But all recipes that go with the Hungry Girl Diet, which
Right.
was a diet plan that people after 10 years had been asking for. They
Right.
said, how do I take your tips
And that was
and
the
put them
9th book.
together? Exactly. And that was really helpful because for all those years before then, I didn't have a diet plan. And so the book is not like a strict diet that you have to live on forever, but it's more a way to take the tips and tricks and recipes and supersizing. Wow.
Sorry, I'm just getting my teeth drilled over here.
Are they
You can
really
hear
doing?
that?
They're doing
Yeah.
construction.
I
Yeah.
love it.
All right.
Someone,
Sorry.
that's calories burning. Do you hear that? Anyway, so
My
yeah,
stomach growling.
that original book had a 4-week plan, and this is a cookbook companion, but it's also a standalone cookbook where you can
Right,
just mix
right.
and match all the meals and have it be balanced
great.
nutritionally and calorie-wise and
Do you
all
get?
that fun
I mean,
stuff.
10 books in as
Like
many
8
years.
8 years,
You know,
I think.
8
Yeah.
years. Do you get burned out? I mean,
No, I mean, I have an amazing team. I have a great team of people. There are about 12 to 15 of us at any given time, and we are constantly seeking out and being mad scientists in the kitchen and working on finding the best tasting products on shelves and making the best recipes. And it's so much fun, and I don't feel like we're getting burnt out at all because food is ever changing,
Right.
And food trends keep changing, and we're changing with them. So I love it, every second of it.
Has your food taste changed? Like my taste buds have changed. I couldn't even give you an example, but I know that what I used to like, I'm like, nah, or what I used to hate, I'm like, oh, give me more.
Sometimes, yeah, I do. I find that I like certain things, or like I go in waves of like I only eat these things for 3 months and then I'm done with them, and then I go back to them. But yeah, I think that's normal. And things that I hated mustard as a child, but I
me
like
too.
it as an
Yeah.
adult.
Yep.
You grow and
yeah,
change.
I like mustard.
Okay, so tell me something about you that people think they know, but isn't really true, like a misperception about you.
I don't know. I feel like I'm such an open book that like I don't know that there are any, but
Well, they think you're taller, clearly.
yes, they do. And I'm only like a little over 5 feet tall. But yeah, maybe some people think that I never ever eat things
Right.
that I shouldn't be eating.
Yeah.
And that's totally not true.
Right. And that's what I love. And, in the trends and how they've gone from, we were doing like our Splendas and a this and a that, and then, then maybe it moved into whatever that other one is, the Truvias and Stevias and all that.
Purevia.
And then they're more clean and other natural sweeteners. And like,
Right.
I feel like you really listen to your audience.
I
You
definitely
and
do.
that is
And
something you do that I think a lot of people don't.
I definitely do that, and I guess one thing that people probably think, because a lot of the old recipes that we had used a lot of stuff that was packaged foods off of shelves,
Right.
but that didn't mean that that was what I ate all day, every day. I wasn't
Right.
home eating Cool Whip Free for breakfast and 60-calorie pudding snacks for lunch. It was just more like, this is an alternative to
Right.
a 1,000-calorie thing that you
Right.
might find at a restaurant.
Right.
But
So-
also, I think some of the people who would complain maybe are living like in the Los Angeles area, or New York, and like you have to really look at this country as a whole.
Right.
And packaged goods for dinner is a regular occurrence.
Right,
You know what I
and
mean?
not
So we're
everything that
talking
comes out of
about-
a package is a bad choice.
Right, but we're talking about mac and cheese, doing this, and then you'd say, okay, you can use this, use less of that, and it turns into another meal. Like you're speaking to people who are already doing it. It's not like you're trying to convince them.
And it's a better alternative. I always said,
like
if-
Lipton onion soup has been used in recipes on the East Coast since the beginning of time.
Right. It has, and it will be forever. So
Yes.
if you can take that recipe and make it taste the same, only instead of having it have 700 calories, it has 300 calories, then you are winning.
Right.
It doesn't matter that it's not organic kale and quinoa, because guess what? Not everyone's eating organic kale and quinoa.
Most people aren't.
So you can, it's baby steps, baby steps.
Yep.
Yeah.
And maybe one meal includes some organic kale and quinoa,
Yes.
but the chances are, when you look around the country, that's not what they're eating. So you're really speaking to the people who need this information.
Okay,
And
I have a
that's-
question about hormones.
Okay.
Yeah, weird. Do you find, I know we have to go to break, okay, I'm going to leave this with you, that kids are going through puberty earlier because of all the extra hormones in our foods and milk? And I'll leave you with a teaser.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Broadscast.
Yeah, welcome.
Kim Goldman, Jackie McDougall, Lisa Lillien.
Hi.
Lily? There's a story you told me about.
What if she comes the night before? We're not going to get into that.
Okay, so real quick, I know this is a burning question, but talk to me about hormones and foods.
Yeah, all right, here's the deal. I am totally not an expert in that arena in any way, shape, or form, but I have heard that people are saying, oh, my 9-year-old is going through puberty, and now she has boobs, and blah, 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 and they're saying it's hormone-related.
Right.
Beats the hell out of me whether or not it is or isn't. That is
Yeah.
so out of my realm of what I know anything about.
Are you a label reader?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
a total label reader, and I love the fact that that the everyday person is now a label reader.
Yeah.
And it's just funny. Some of them are looking for the wrong things on the labels.
Yes.
But I like to read labels because I like to know what I'm getting into.
Do you
And,
have a
like,
post that we can direct people on our website to, like what you should be looking for in labels?
Well, I mean, I think if you go to hungry-girl.com and you just do a search for that, that we probably have a few things that you can find. But like, it really depends on what you're looking for. Like, I'm not a person that's reading and saying, oh my God, no GMOs. Oh, I can only have organic. I tend to look at what are the serving sizes? What's the calorie, fat,
It's
and
so
fiber
funny, the
counts?
serving sizes. What I found best on your website was the portion size for pasta, because I'm either little or I have it for an army. So I love that.
I'm
So
sorry,
thank
but
you.
I just pretend that serving sizes have a typo. Because, like, the amount of cereal they want me to eat versus the
It's
amount
not
of cereal
15,
I
it's
actually...
1.5.
Yeah, whatever. It's a single serving.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that Frosted Flakes is a single
If it
serving.
fits in
I
a
don't
box, it'll
Yeah.
fit in my stomach.
Okay, so real quick, we are giving away 2 Hungry Girl prize packs.
Yes.
And so go to our website, broadscast.com, to the Hungry Girl post there, and you can find out how to win. The other one, you have to be in our Broad Squad group on Facebook to win. So join our Broad Squad.
It's worth it.
It's a
Yeah,
ton-
It's a
hashtag
good
Broad
gift
Squad.
bag.
Yeah.
Totally.
Recipe
It's a signed
cards,
book.
measuring
Your
spoons.
signed
And your
new
new
book.
book, and you're going to sign it,
Yes.
and all that good stuff.
Fun. My shoe.
You have a
All right,
shoe?
no, I'm not giving a shoe. I was
Thank
kidding.
you.
I just wanted to make people go there. Sorry.
2 shoes.
Oh,
2
thanks for my
shoes, maybe
face.
they'd go.
All right, we really have to go. Thank you,
Thank
Lisa
you,
Lillien.
Lisa. Thank you
This
so
has been
much fun.
Broadcast. We'll see you guys, or talk to you guys next week.